Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Third Thoughts. In this episode, Bradley and I are just going to be talking about WandaVision Episode 4, our thoughts, some theories that we found, and just our overall opinions on the show right now and just what's going on. I know Episode 4 was pretty crazy, especially just like from what we've seen in the compared to the other episodes in the past, especially because they kind of completely abandoned that sitcom style. Even when we went back to seeing Wanda and Vision, we just never got that sitcom style in this episode. We got actually the complete opposite. We got what seemed to be more of a normal MCU project. And I felt like for me, that was refreshing. What were your thoughts on that complete 180 of a feel of a show?
I liked it a lot. I really did. I liked how we kind of backtracked and saw how they found out about Wanda. We even saw a bit of the best part is the opening by far for me. Is how it started off with that literally the aftermath of them come back from the snap. That's something we really hadn't got to see since Endgame. So it was really cool that they went back and touched on that. I feel like that's something that fans kind of wanted to see was a real just like a raw POV of like what actually happened after the snap. So I thought that was really cool. So like this episode was a nice change of pace. I kind of definitely preferred that they did this episode later on than like early on in the series. I feel like this could have been something that they did like episode 1 or 2, but I'm happy that they did it now. It made it like a lot more kind of satisfying.
Yeah, I'm glad that they did it right now rather than doing it later, just because we kind of had that feeling of uncertainty in the beginning, and that definitely would not near have been there nearly as much. It wouldn't have had that nearly as much of an impact if they had done it in like the first episode. What did you think of
Yeah.
like the whole like just like the way they I know we talked about this earlier, but the way they did the snap, like compared to let's say Spider-Man Far From Home.
I mean, I liked it. It's just kind of it showed like I think more realistic, like the emotions and stuff. Like literally, people just scrambling, don't really know what's happening. People literally that have been missing for years just came back to life. Like basically, that's a crazy event. I even preferred that versus like Far From Home, which used to just for jokes and stuff like that. But I understand that obviously that's a movie centered around one hero, so has other priorities. But I definitely preferred the way it was handled just in this one scene than like all of that entire movie.
Dude, I literally cannot believe that they actually did that though. Like at first, I don't know if it was just me, but at first I was so confused. Like I had no idea what was going on, bro. I thought she was getting like sucked into a portal or something, and like it was like doing some weird like spit like quantum mania type of stuff with like Ant-Man going into the quantum realm, you know. I don't know what was
Yeah.
happening. I was so confused. All right, we can just get right into the theories, bro. I think one of the biggest things when it comes to theories overall that I wanted to talk about was the hex and how that kind of connects all together. I think, I mean, you already know about the hex theory where it's like hex, Wanda's hex, hexing, which is like sorcery, I guess.
Yeah.
I think one thing that a lot of people didn't mention was how it kind of relates to Agnes too, because she is a witch and a witch does do sorcery. What do you think about the connection between Agnes and the rest of this episode? Like how she was
Bro,
unidentified, like that.
I
I mean,
know.
there's so much to build off of for her character. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that this episode definitely shows us that she's gonna play a major role because the fact that she was like unlisted, she's like that means it shows us the show's kind of keeping her as like a mystery kind of. So I really like that. So I'm sure she's gonna play probably a bigger part as the series goes on. But I don't really know what they're gonna do with her because now I thought Agnes like seemed like she was kind of a from the comics seemed like she's a pretty good person, but maybe I don't really know what her motives are then for trying I guess to get inside Wanda's like get inside Westview. So I don't really understand what her motives are anymore. But I guess we'll find out later.
I think that's just to kind of like implant that thought into Wanda's mind, I guess, to play out when it comes to Mephisto. You know, maybe she is bad after all. Maybe they're not going to take
Maybe
from the comics, bro. Because at this point, it's
I wouldn't
like,
mind.
yeah, because like, what is she there for then? If she's like, I mean, obviously she's implanting that thing because we noticed with like the whole pineapple, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't really understand what her point there is. Like, what is she? What is she there to do? Because if she's good, why would she be working with Mephisto?
I
It's,
mean, maybe she's trying to help Wanda. I think I know in the comics that she helps Wanda try to like basically control her powers. Basically, that could be what she's trying to do now. But I don't know why she would like just not try to like save her like more like do it more like in a more direct way. But I mean, if she's bad, I think it could be super. Maybe if she's bad now, she turns good later on. So I don't think she's a character from like if they use her how she's used in the comics, she's kind of always just kind of there. So I don't think she'll like get killed off or anything like that. But I don't know. I mean, this show could really take a turn. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
kind
don't
of hope
think
she doesn't get killed off or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think she'll get killed off, but I mean, the main point of her in the comics was to implant the vision, or not the vision, but like the idea into Wanda's mind to have kids, and then so that
Yeah,
her husband Ralph, who's Mephisto, since he's a devil, he needs a body to take over since he's just a
yeah,
soul. So I think that is one connection, but as of right now, that's like the only connection I can find. So I don't really know what her real purpose is. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do. I wouldn't mind if she's evil, but I like you said, I don't want her to die off. Um,
yeah.
I don't like, dude. There's just like there was so much that went on in this episode,
I,
like small stuff that just kept like going back and forth, back and forth. I don't really know like what to
oh,
think of any of it. Like it was so much back and forth for like no reason. Like not no reason, but it just felt like at some points it was like, when are we gonna get to the bottom of this? And even at the
yeah.
end of the episode, there were still so many questions unanswered. Like it
I
may
mean, that's kind of.
right when we think we get to something, like nothing comes out of it because we're just presented with more questions.
I mean, that's kind of how Sword feels. You think about it, like literally, like Jimmy Woo, like right on the board and stuff like that, like questions. Like that's basically what the audience was just doing. Like he was doing what we were doing. So it's kind of cool
That's
because it kind of
true.
puts us in Sword's shoes, like basically.
I think one theory that a lot of people haven't heard of is the vulture theory. Have you heard of it?
Vulture? Nah, I'm not
Okay,
heard.
so I'm reading
Oh,
this off of a website called Den of the Geek. I found this out earlier. I did a breakdown video. If you guys want to check that out, obviously you can click the link in the description down below. But I did do a breakdown video, and I did mention this theory, but I didn't really go into detail because I was saying it for this video. So basically, the theory from Den of Geek is Vulture is in Westview. I'm going to read directly from here again. This article will also be linked in the description down below. They said, and I quote, I'm going to read this exactly off. Jimmy Woo first discovered the situation in Westview after trying to contact a man under witness protection in the town. It seems unlikely that Woo, in charge of monitoring the high-profile likes of Scott Lang and Ant-Man and the Wasp, would have been keeping tabs on a total random person. So, was the FBI protecting Westview, and are they integral to WandaVision's central plot? So that's the first section of this theory, right? Why would why would they why would they be protecting Westview, or why would they be going to Westview if it wasn't a high profile thing?
yeah.
You know what I'm
Actually,
saying?
there's probably someone serious there. I mean, it could be like literally Agnes, something like just taking a different form, something like that, or maybe Mephisto. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be just someone like in a different form, maybe or something like that. But
Because I
I
feel like we're
mean,
not
yeah,
getting enough
it makes sense.
backstory on. I mean, obviously it's an unknown person, but like, why would they be sent there if it's not someone big? So I feel like it has to be, like I said in my video before, Mephisto, Agnes, or it could even be Quicksilver.
Is it? Yeah, probably someone with powers different. Someone like if they since they call it sword and stuff, basically, like, it has to be someone like that is probably not human, like fully. So I mean, I can see. I mean, you're right. Those are all like good, like suggestions. So I don't really know. Like, it's kind of this question hanging in the air. But I don't know if that would really let it get answered. I don't know. Like maybe that won't get answered in this like show. Maybe I have no idea. It could be some like way down the line, or like multiverse of madness. Maybe that we can get this question answered, like who this person was.
I guess, yeah. I mean, that's true, but yeah. And then the rest of this theory is a little bit out in the open. I mean, that's the main part of the theory I want to talk about, but this is where Michael Keaton's Vulture actually comes in. So basically, it says that some fans are wondering if Jimmy's Westview guy, like the person he's looking for, is Michael Keaton's Spider-Man Homecoming villain Vulture, who is being threatened in prison during the film's closing stages. It's unclear how he could be connected to the story here, or how he could have a major impact on the
Yeah.
proceedings due to the nature of his portrayal in the MCU so far.
I want to see
Is
how
he
that ties
anything
in.
more than a regular industrial guy without his exosuit? So people are saying that maybe just like in terms of like just connections from just dialogue in the ending of Spider-Man Homecoming, he could be connected. But again, I personally don't see that as anything super major. I don't really know what you think of it.
Yeah, same. I mean, I don't really see how that's gonna like really correlate. I mean, it was kind of random that happened because I always think he like kind of correlates to all this, especially because we like just saw him in jail. Um, but I did one thing I do want to touch. I didn't really like pay attention to like when the series actually took place. I never really thought about it, but apparently this takes place before Far From Home, which I did not know. Like I didn't, I just never like pay attention to it.
Whoa,
But
whoa,
yeah, the
whoa.
show takes place before Far From
This show
Home.
take
Yes, because Monica comes back from the snap. That took place like right after Endgame, and Endgame took place before Far From Home. So all this. She meets up with Jimmy with all this stuff, goes to Westview all before Far From Home. It's like over like a 3 week span. basically, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've looked up. This is all like a like 1 3 week span. This is all before Far From Home. This is like
Dang.
right after Endgame, like basically, like it's like a month after all stuff happening in Avengers
Okay,
Endgame.
okay. This leads to my next theory.
A
This leads
month
to my
after.
next theory. This is probably my biggest theory. Have you heard of this theory about the dead, Brantley?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is my biggest theory. I've read a few things on Twitter about it. I talked about it a little bit in my breakdown video, but I'm here to give you guys my theory first. Okay, listen here, really. Pay attention, okay?
All right.
Remember Kevin Feige said at the end of Avengers Endgame, there was supposed to be a post-credit scene where Wanda is looking in, I guess, a body bag to bring Vision's body
Yeah.
back to life that teases WandaVision. Now,
Yeah.
paint a picture in your head, right? After the events of Endgame, Wanda goes to a morgue. She sees Vision's grave. And when she's standing by Vision's grave, remember, she's in a morgue full of a bunch of people, right? Not just Vision's
Yeah.
body. She's in a morgue. She's sitting there or standing by Vision's grave, and she's kind of envisioning everything that her life could have been with Vision. What she wanted to do, what she thought could have happened in the future. Maybe she wanted to have kids and live a long-lasting life with him as her husband. You never know, right? What if, and also remember in the beginning of the episode, or not really beginning of this episode, but somewhere in like the first 1/4 of the episode, they say that the citizens around Westview, specifically Eastview, said that the town popped up out of nowhere. So my theory kind of gets deep when you think about it. What if it was a morgue where Vision's body was, and as she was creating all these realities in her head, she kind of started to form her own alternate reality, and in that town of Westview popped up over the morgue, and all of those people that were dead are just people, like all those people in the town are dead people that she brought back to life with her superpowers. And on top of that, you can add in
Mhm.
whenever Herb in episode 3 said we're all blank, what if he was gonna say we're all dead? Think
But
about it.
but think about what if Sword found them when their ID said that they died though.
I mean, but
I
we
mean,
didn't see that. We did not see the ID. And remember,
I'm saying,
it's
and I'm
not.
saying, if these people are already in like graves and stuff, wouldn't they already be like dead? Like when you look them up and stuff like that. So when they trap
They
people
don't.
that are in the town, they'd already be dead
But no
if,
one
if,
said
if they
they
were like
weren't.
in the ground before.
No one said they were dead or weren't dead. Also, they could have died in
But I thought you would have said
that
that
five
though.
year. They could have died in that 5 year span between the blips. Remember when like half the people were gone? They could have died. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I feel like they would
It's
have
just a
pointed that
theory,
out
but
though. Like I feel like they would have said something like that, like, oh, all
I
these
mean, they don't
people
have to
vanished
though.
from the snap
Also, that
or
leads to the
something.
House of M, because the House of M has a lot of like, according to what I've read online about the comic House of M, there's a lot of graveyard mentions. So no one knows if they exactly took it. But I mean, in House of M, there's no direct correlation to graveyards and stuff, but they talk about death in graveyards and bringing dead people back to life, obviously. So that's where I get my
That'd be
theory
cool.
from. I don't know, man. I just really think, especially the fact that they say it pops up out of nowhere. That's kind of what solidifies my theory for me. I really think all these people are dead. I don't really think they were alive before. And it also makes sense if she was thinking about her future with Vision and she just crafted a perfect reality with all those people. Also, it would make sense. Why would Wanda take already alive people if they didn't forcefully enter the area? You know what I'm saying?
But I
Like,
mean, I think that the idea is that she took over a town and then she just renamed it and like transformed it into Westview, basically, like a pre-existing town,
no, but people
essentially.
said there was nothing there. Remember in the episode, they said when the people that lived in Eastview said that it popped up out of nowhere, there was nothing there.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's
So
true.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe it was just dead people. And also, don't you think those dead people's families would say something?
But they don't
They
know though. I mean,
disappeared.
because Sora's like classified information though. I mean, like it's like all like on this one site, basically.
No, no, but I'm
It's probably
saying,
not
don't
like
you think
public
their
news.
families would be like confused and stuff if they just dipped out of nowhere? That's what I'm saying. They're probably already dead. That also, that's kind of smart on Wanda's part if you think about it, because if they're already dead, no one's gonna question them. You know what I'm saying? But
That's true, but I don't know. It's
the
odd that
only
like
thing that,
Sora wouldn't like have pointed
yeah,
that out. Like when they
the
did, when
only
they
thing
took
that
people.
refutes my theory is that what you said before is that there's no symbol that they're dead or they're alive. That's the only thing that kind of refutes this theory. And I understand that because that's like one of the biggest things. But I feel like I think that's just one of my theories. Do you have any theories that you've come up with or seen online? Even if I've already
I
heard it, you can
mean,
still talk about it.
yeah. I don't think I've had like major like I guess full like fledged theories, but I do think that the main thing I'm sticking with is I guess I don't think it's really a theory. I think it's kind of just in like a big assumption is that probably we might see Monica like at the end like in her full hero form like Photon or whatever, since she might get the powers from want to push her on or whatever. So maybe
Yeah,
they end up
yeah.
fighting
I
at
was
the end
gonna
of the
talk about
show or
that.
something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
feel like that.
But I
Yeah,
think that could be pretty cool to see at the end. But I don't think she'll like die or anything, obviously. But I think it'd be cool for like her and one I guess like to fight or something.
yeah. I think another thing that we should talk about is Darcy, bro. I mean, personally, I hated her in the first two Thor movies. She was just annoying, like. But I feel like this episode they really showed off her smarts and stuff. What did you think about her character?
Yeah, I liked it a lot compared to how she was in the Thor movies. She was just like annoying character in those movies, but like now she's like pretty cool. And really one thing I like is how people like pointed out on Twitter like this show is basically like the protagonists are all just like side characters of other shows and stuff like coming together and be like the main like people of this show, which is pretty cool in my
Exactly.
opinion
Yeah.
of how they did it. Basically just combine all these different side characters together, which would be cool if they do that like in more other Disney Plus shows, give like these small people kind of more time to shine.
Yeah. I also like that they gave Jimmy Woo. What's oh my god, I forgot his
Yeah,
name. Jimmy Woo. I'm glad they gave
Jimmy.
him more screen time because I really liked his character in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, he's dope.
Um, he's just, I mean, he's just super funny, literally in anything he's in. Another thing I want to talk about, we talked about this earlier, but the relic radiation dating back to the Big Bang, dude, that is,
Yeah,
and that also goes back to House of M, because in the House of M comic, she creates alternate realities where mutants feel safe. That's the point of
yeah,
it, because she's a mutant herself. So I feel like that'd be super dope if we kind of got to see that play out.
yeah.
I'm really scared because her character only has two, or she mentioned her contract in one of her interviews. I really don't want her to
Yeah.
leave after two movies, bro. I feel like they could do so much with
I
her
mean, I wouldn't mind it. I
character.
mean, what else could like she like do? Like, I mean, let's say like she turns bad and like Multiverse of Madness or something like that, right there at the end of this show. Like, I don't really know like what else would happen. You usually like turns back good. Like, what else would you kind of do with her at that point? I feel like I don't know what else they would like really
I feel
do.
like she could be a really good mentor for when they start introducing mutants. Like they could kind of have her at the school and stuff. Or she could be like she could just be a normal hero again, but she has that like anti-hero drive, I guess, you know? Like
Yes.
death is what fuels her.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
she
that's
has
the
to
thing.
kind
She's
of
like kind of like
what were you
what were you
saying?
saying?
No, no, go ahead.
She's kind of like honestly, she's like literally going like more and more kind of borderline like insane. Basically, it's like for her like kind of trying to become a hero
She's
is kind
becoming
of
a
odd to
psychopath.
me.
It's she's literally
Yeah,
becoming a
like it's so
psychopath.
weird. I can't see
Oh,
her coming back to like being a hero after all this, unless she's being like controlled by something, like for the most part.
I don't think she's being controlled. I think yeah. So another thing I brought up in my breakdown video was I think that after she kind of pushed Monica outside of her reality and kind of gave her those powers, obviously, as we're assuming, I think one big thing is kind of mentioning the fact, it's worth mentioning the fact that she is in control of what's happening now. In the first few episodes, it didn't seem like that. You know what I'm saying? In the first few
Yeah,
episodes,
but
it
I don't think
seemed
she's in
like
full control though.
no, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of thinking she's on like 80% control, but
Yes.
Mephisto is in like 20, and in that 20%, we can also put Agatha Harkness. We can put her in that 20% too, just because we saw the stork, she couldn't get rid of the stork, remember? And then
Yeah.
also the pineapple, the implanting ideas into her brain. And I'm super excited because dude, it seems like next episode, this stuff shit's gonna go down, bro. He's gonna
Yeah.
dude
And that's the
that
thing about her not in control. Like, I think that she probably start losing grasp on like vision and everything. She can't like control him as much anymore. That's when he's gonna like, find out certain things. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see like how this all plays out.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see the TV spot was crazy, bro. The pictures that we saw, like, I mean, okay, here's the thing. I really don't see where they're going with the show though. Like, okay, let's transition over to I guess the season as a whole. And obviously, I feel like this is a show where it's more of the exponential payoff. It's not the buildup at all. It's if the show pays off well, then it's a great season, right? It's a great show. I genuinely don't think I can rate the show or rank the show or do anything with this show
Yeah,
until
that's
I get
true.
the payoff. But what do you think of? We talked this earlier, but what do you think about that? Like the ending. Like, what do you want in conclusion?
I mean, personally, I just kind of want a good transition like into Multiverse of Madness, whatever they're gonna do. Like, if Wanda's gonna be evil, it'd be pretty cool to see her turn evil at the end. Maybe see a bit of like Mephisto or whoever like the big bad is, kind of, but like not like too much, but like, just a little bit, and just get kind of a kind of see where Monica is at. But I guess that's how I would kind of want to end, kind of closing this like chapter, but not like closing like everything off. It's like we still see it transitioning all into Multiverse of Madness, but because apparently like people saying kind of view the show as like the prelude to Multiverse of Madness, basically, just like kind of like the introduction to everything, and then Multiverse of Madness can be like the big kind of conclusion and like finale, basically.
Yeah, dude, I feel like Multiverse of Madness is gonna be so big, bro. I'm so excited, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
gonna be
believe they're actually like
insane.
going for that. Like, I really hope. I mean, and I also saw a lot of people are kind of referring to Spider-Man, Spider-Man, whatever it's gonna be called, Spider-Man 3, WandaVision, and Multiverse of Madness kind of as the trilogy of the multiverse. Kind of like,
That'd be
because
crazy.
dude, it's gonna like apparently Spider-Man 3 is gonna heavily use the multiverse too. So I'm super excited. And you have to remember, Spider-Man 3 comes out before Multiverse of Madness. So there's gonna
That's
be
true.
there's gonna be people playing with the multiverse before everyone else has even like discovered it, I guess.
I don't know though, because like
What
this
do
is
you
kind of
mean?
like where time comes in. Because if this all happens before Spider-Man 3, I mean Far From Home, that means that Multiverse of Madness could also take place before Spider-Man 3 and stuff as well. If this all happens during this like one time period,
No,
like
so I
if
think
since WandaVision takes place before Far From Home, Multiverse of Madness could take place before Far From Home as well. We just like wouldn't know about it, I guess.
I don't think it would. You know why? Because if it did, if you think about it, right? If Spider-Man 3 is going to be after, also we have to realize this is a TV show, so it's not as big of a thing. So I feel like the movies are more or less going to be chronological. You know what I'm saying? Like in
I
terms
mean,
of
they said this was
time.
essential viewing, so if you wouldn't watch it, I don't know. Kevin Feige said
Oh no, no,
this
no.
was
No,
essential
no.
viewing.
I'm saying it's essential. I'm not saying it's not essential. I'm going
Yeah.
more towards the fact that when it comes to time frames, I feel like their movies are going to be more sequential. Now, obviously, I'm saying it's just because it's a TV show, it has that freedom of being at whatever point in time it
Mm,
wants. So
yeah.
I really think that it's great that they're introducing the multiverse right now, but I really, really hope that they don't like move any time. They don't do time backs or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like when I say time backs, like they're not going before a certain movie.
I mean, I
Because
wouldn't
if
mind
you
that for like I guess this because we can kind of see stuff of like Far From Home. I mean, in Spider-Man 3, like we might not like fully understand, but like Multiverse of Madness, be like, oh, like that's how that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
happened
that's what
in
I'm
this.
saying. Yeah,
And
that's what I
I'm
kind
like
of want to
super
happen.
confused.
But
Yeah.
I I'm kind of confused on how like they're gonna transition this show out. Like we talked about this on over text, obviously, but I'm kind of confused how they're gonna transition this show out, especially when it comes to just like Wanda as a whole, I guess you could say. Like, okay, think about it this way, right? If say the next episode is when all of the stuff goes down, which is literally what the trailer is showing us, and it's only episode 5, where do we go from there?
I have no idea, bro. Like, I think this show could take like a humongous like turn. It could just like go from like this, like kind of, I guess like suspense to like just an action show.
I
Honestly, I
know.
don't know. It can go any direction.
Also, was it like super weird to you to see a normal TV show and you watch WandaVision today? Like it was so
Yes,
weird
sure.
to me
That's so
that I wasn't
odd.
watching a sitcom, bro. It felt so weird. I watched the show like two times and I watched parts of it again over and over for my breakdown, but it felt
100%.
so weird. I could never get used to the fact that it wasn't a sitcom anymore. And I was seeing
Yeah,
Wanda in like full form power. And the thing is, when we went back and kind of saw her push Monica out of the whole
yeah.
reality place, we were watching like a legitimate like Marvel like structured show with Wanda doing stuff and turning evil like and just like I don't know, maybe it was me, but it just looked so much more crisp, I guess, because it wasn't that sitcom. I don't know, bro. Like the screen was so much like it was like a rectangle and
Yeah.
it just seems so crisp to me. Like just seeing Wanda like and like it just oh my god, it looks so good. I'm so excited to see what Marvel can pull off next, bro. Dude.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, for me personally, this is like if the payoff is good, it's probably like one of my favorite probably like Marvel projects that like they've done so far. Like so far, this
Yeah.
show is like I'm really enjoying it. So if it ends good, like I think this could really like be something super special.
I really hope that they don't I really hope that the show doesn't mess up in terms of going. I mean, I don't think they're gonna mess up. Come on now, it's Marvel. But I don't really think they're gonna mess up on this part specific. I don't think they're gonna mess up on this part specifically, but
Yeah.
I really hope that they deep dive into the character of Mephisto just enough to where we can get a taste of him for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness if he ends up being that big bad. I honestly would love to see Mephisto and Wanda work together and try and like defeat Strange. That'd be so dope to see. Because like as of right now, yes, Wanda is the most powerful, but come on. Strange. I mean, okay. This is what I can't say Strange is stronger because we haven't really seen him be stronger. But like pre WandaVision, I would say Strange was stronger. Would you agree?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. Apparently, like a video I watched basically explained it. Like this guy used like a lot of like technical terms and stuff like that was confusing me. He's basically like Doctor Strange. He can like manipulate stuff and like he can like basically manipulate like matters, like objects and stuff like that. But Wanda can like manipulate like the universe, which I guess that's what makes her more powerful. I guess because Strange can like manipulate like kind of like objects stuff like that. But he can't like really like change like the world around him. Basically,
Dude, maybe
like how
she's the
Wanda
only
can.
one that has multiverse bending powers, and that's why they're building her character up
Yeah,
so much.
maybe.
The last thing we want to talk about in this video, and the last thing I wanted to bring up to you, Brentley, was that $25 million per episode budget, bro. And we know from the episode teaser trailer, it's about to go down. Okay, dude. What are your thoughts on my budget question is leading into this? Final thoughts on what you expect from episode 5, from what we got from the teaser trailer. You can dissect it. You can look it up right now. Go through certain shots if you want. Just talk about it. What are your thoughts on it?
I think episode 5 will probably go back to the sitcom. I think literally the title of this episode was called it was like we interrupt this program or something like that. So it's kind of basically like a commercial almost. It's like a long commercial, like in the whole sitcom concept. But yeah, I think we'll be back probably with Wanda and stuff like that. And I think maybe hopefully we kind of just get more of a. It'd be cool if for me if it like switches kind of like a Vision like detective story almost like Vision just trying to figure stuff out. We follow him like for most of the time. Like that'd be pretty cool to me because now Vision's like pretty suspicious, but Wanda, I think, she's probably gonna start losing her control over Vision. So hopefully, I'll be kind of down to see that happen. Just us follow Vision a bit more, and as he tries to figure everything out, and Wanda just kind of just becomes more creepy throughout the whole show.
One thing I wanted to bring up, just because what you said, the sitcom feeling, I don't think they're gonna go for a sitcom feel, bro. I think it's gonna be 80s, but I don't think it's gonna be like square TV. I think it's gonna be normal rectangle ratio. I think we're gonna get both sides. I think we're gonna get Sword's perspective and Wanda's perspective at the same time,
That'd
intertwining.
be crazy.
Strictly because of the fact that in the teaser trailer, we saw them ramming trucks into the dome, and they were like kind of getting in, and there was like a red like dome kind of caving into where the truck was coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like the truck was like going into the dome, and there was like a red force field. So it seems like Wanda was trying to push them out, maybe. So
Maybe.
I do think that the show is not going to go into sitcom direction anymore. I hate to say it. I love
Really?
the sitcom.
So you think they're about to like go back and forth now?
Bro, I
Like between
really
like we'll
think,
see
yeah.
Wanda, then we'll see
And
Sword.
on top of that, Vision's gonna start getting more suspicious because remember I don't know if you remember this exactly, but in the trailer, there's the Halloween scene where Vision is standing next to Agatha Harkness's car, and she's dressed up as a witch. And they're talking, and she starts to laugh. And that's the same episode where he flies into the air and has an aerial view of all of Westview. He'll be able to see kind of where it cuts off. And from what we saw, my man's laying there like this. He's dead, bro. He's gone. My boy is dead, fam. He tried to get out. Looks like he got out. Maybe Wanda does some. Maybe that's when Wanda starts doing some major bending when it comes to even just outside of her little dome. Maybe he gets out and she pulls him back in. You know, and maybe
Maybe that's when she leaves. Maybe bro, maybe it's not a like from remember that Suits video you showed me. Maybe it's not a modernized costume. Maybe it's her Halloween costume, but she has to go out and grab his body and bring him back in, so she can like bring him back to life again. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. No, but I think it was like the leather. I think it was like a leather suit with like yeah, but we didn't get to see specific colors or anything, but it looked a lot darker than her normal suit. But then again, it was nighttime. So we don't have that much to go off of when it comes to that stuff. But dude, there's so much that can happen next episode. Episode better be 30 minutes, bro. We don't need to sit with that sitcom ad style anymore. I need 30 minutes of straight content.
I wouldn't mind it though. I mean, because I really like how they like really commit to the sitcom style. So I feel like if they do go back, I kind of only want to see like one side. Like I don't know. Like if we go, I wouldn't mind go
Oh
back just like
yeah.
to the sitcoms and then kind of maybe Swords like episode like 7, we go back to Swords, something like that. I mean,
No,
I
no,
think
I completely
that's
agree with that. No, no, I'm saying if we're not sticking with the sitcom style, give me 30 minutes of content. Because
yeah.
remember, they're only doing like the long credits and those ads in between all that stuff
Mm.
because it's a sitcom style show. But now if it becomes a normal show, which I'm assuming it's gonna be now, I think that really there's no point of that. And I this show can go in so many directions, man. Every week's like a new piece to the puzzle, bro. There's just so much
Yeah.
stuff that can go down. I
Wait,
mean,
wait. So I have a question real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
Wait. So okay. So are they going through every decade? So we have every decade. So there's like
We're
3 decades
80s.
left,
We're
not
going to
counting the
80s.
80s. So after
No,
the
no,
80s, we have 90s, early 2000s is like the current time period. So
yeah.
like, is that? But there's like 5 episodes left of the show. 3 more like decades. So those like last episodes could be like just like when stuff really gets crazy because like
No, no,
we'll
but
break out
remember,
of like the
the
whole
2000s
time
can
machine.
go on forever.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I don't see them going
Dang.
to the 90s though. Did we see any like photos or
I
anything?
don't think
Or
we saw anything for 90s. That's
I
the thing.
same.
Dang.
I don't remember seeing anything from the. I mean, dude, I really do see after next episode. Maybe Wanda's the only one left in that bubble with all those people.
Dang, yeah, this.
Like it could just be her. I mean, obviously, maybe she's like prepping to like demolish Sword or something, bro.
Well, remember, Monica's was like to talk to Sword about everything that she went through in there. They don't like really know what
Oh
happened to her.
yeah.
Like she just like tell them everything like that just went down. Like she after she was been in there for like that long. So like Sword's like get like a bunch of new intel and everything. So
Maybe
they
that's why they
like know how
start
to
trying to break
attack
in.
it.
Maybe because they kind of understand the dome more now since Monica went
Yeah.
in and out, you know?
Dang.
Also, like it's kind of
God.
crazy that she's the first person to go into it and out of it.
Yeah.
Also, I think another thing that's really worth mentioning before we end off this episode of Third Thoughts is that Monica purposefully, or not purposefully, but she like went in there. Wanda didn't put her in.
Yeah.
Again, in my opinion, that goes back to my death theory that maybe if those other people, because if you think about it, right when she went in, people started questioning where she was, what happened, where'd she go, the dome thing, right? What about all
Mm.
these other people, bro? Is no one questioning them?
I don't know, man. I don't think that the dead like theory is too far out of reach. I mean, I think it's a definitely like a possible thing that could be the case. That would definitely make the series like so much more like disturbing, bro. They're all
Dude, you
just
make it
dead.
so dark, dude. It's already so dark, bro.
For real, it's already like insane.
It's so dark for a Marvel show, and I'm super excited they went this path because I feel like this is the only Marvel. Dude, this is such a good prep up for Multiverse of Madness, bro. Please, Sam Raimi, make that bad boy rated R, please,
Yeah.
dude. I could not beg. I would rather have COVID than Multiverse of Madness not being rated R. I promise you. I want Multiverse of Madness to be rated R if it is the end of me. Okay. I because
Yeah.
this show proves that they could do so much. Like they're already kind of it already feels like they're testing the boundary for like kind of horror, but at the same time, it might just be because they're Marvel and they're like, I guess their level to surpass horror is so low at this point. We're not really
Yes.
expecting much. But I
Yeah.
think, I mean, especially for a Marvel show, I mean, I really hope that they kind of go more into the horror territory. Do you have anything to add on about whether it's about this episode or episode 5?
No, not really. But yeah, I kind of answer your point at the end. Like, I do think that the Disney Plus shows can be a good way for Marvel to kind of experiment, test new stuff out before putting on like the big screen, or it's like darker tones, just like different kind of things. So, I mean, I'm excited. Like, that's what I really am excited for like, all these other Disney Plus shows. I feel like Marvel can have a lot more freedom and a lot more fun with them. So, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to episode 5. Stuff's gonna get crazy. It's crazy. We're basically almost halfway through the
Yeah.
show, which is insane. So, I'm just excited.
Dude, I think it's rightfully so to be excited. I'm excited to see what the payoff is. I'm just waiting for that finale day, bro. Next week, Malcolm and Marie is coming out, guys. So I will be
Oh,
dropping
yeah.
my WandaVision spoiler free review later on that day. I'm not going to be able to do it that morning because I will be watching Malcolm and Marie. Also, watch out for Malcolm and Marie because I will be dropping a spoiler-free and spoiler review both in the same morning on that Friday. So again, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, turn notifications on so you don't miss those videos or you don't miss whenever I go live on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.